Saints preserve us! It's Catwoman!
In the adorable fur.
What's good, people? Agent Juice reporting for duty. Eartha Kitt is one of my most favored voice actors. Much like Patrick Warburton, H. John Benjamin, and of course the late great Tony Jay, Eartha Kitt wasn't really known for her vocal versatility as much as her vocal recognition. There was no mistaking it when Eartha Kitt was voicing a character. And in a perfect world, if she were still alive today and I could have it my way, I would actually want Eartha Kitt to voice my OC Velicia from my cartoon SCHNEEEVIL. And so I decided to use this episode of Velicia cosplaying to have Velicia cosplay Eartha Kitt's version of Catwoman, and of course to take the time to talk about Eartha Kitt and her career. So without further ado, let us go ahead and get into our best Catwoman outfit. Let's go steal some gems. Let us have a long career that includes Broadway, voice acting, activism that got you blacklisted from the industry for a long while, and then come back swinging harder than ever. Let us use that great effervescent energy to smash that like button, and let's get on with it, shall we? So, of course, first thing we do on this channel is we talk about the speed paints. As I mentioned, this is my OC Donut Steel Velicia from my cartoon SCHNEEEVIL. Link down below, of course. I always have that, of the SCHNEEEVIL pilot I made. And so Velicia is cosplaying Eartha Kitt's portrayal of Catwoman. But it's the Catwoman that I consider like the Catwoman of Adam West Batman. And I think a lot of people do picture Eartha Kitt when they think of the Adam West Catwoman. So of course I had to honor Eartha Kitt and have Velicia dress up as the Eartha Kitt version of Catwoman, because as I said before, I would love it if in a perfect world Velicia could be voiced by Eartha Kitt, and a lot of Velicia's mannerisms were actually based off of the way Eartha Kitt voiced a lot of the characters that she did. In making this video, I decided to look into the history of Eartha Kitt, and quite a history it was. Eartha Kitt was born and had an early childhood riddled with bad juju. Early on, she was abandoned by her mother. She was adopted by a family that ended up abusing her, and so she had a very, very rough childhood, but managed to have a great career. She started with stage acting, I believe. She was a prolific singer. I mean, hello, Santa Baby, one of the most well-known Christmas songs. That was Eartha Kitt. She even got a chance to work with the one and only Orson Welles on his stage play version of, I think it was Dr. Faustus. And then, of course, there was the whole thing of Eartha Kitt being a very staunch activist back in the day when it was actually detrimental to your career. There's this very famous, or infamous, depending on who you ask, moment where she was at a White House lunch, and she told, I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson's wife. The point is, she, and I'm paraphrasing here, she basically told the Johnson administration, one way, shape, or form, that in regards to the Vietnam War, she said, "You are sending our children to die in a pointless war." And that moment blacklisted her from the industry for quite a while. So she took a hit for the team, which is very, very impressive. But of course, she came back, she reignited her career, and later in life, she started doing voice acting much more. And the voice acting, of course, is when I started really recognizing Eartha Kitt, because, of course, her being much older than me at the time, I, of course, only caught on to her work much later in her life when I actually started paying attention to the stuff she was making. The reason why I love Eartha Kitt's voice acting so much is that she's very good, despite what I mentioned earlier, not being vocally versatile as far as doing different voices. She was incredible at communicating different types of personalities. Eartha Kitt was very good at being someone who could be both mysterious and even alluring, and also being able to play someone spastic and out of their mind. It was great. I always think of, like, one of the key characters I think about, of course, was the subject of last Velicia cosplay video, Yzma, right? Yzma was this great example of Eartha Kitt's ability to play a character who could be, very cunning and mysterious, and also very, off her rocker and, like, having to deal with crazy situations. It's this great energy that she was able to bring to a character that had so many facets to them. And that ultimately is where I drew a lot of the Eartha Kitt inspiration for Velicia. The main theme I tend to bang on about in these Velicia cosplay videos is that the point of Velicia is that she tends to want to be like these characters that she's cosplaying. When I was talking about Butt Witch and Wuya, I was talking about how those two characters I mentioned are these villains who are at the top of their game. They're the ones in control, and Velicia craves that control. That is her story. A character like Yzma and a character like Catwoman, or the Eartha Kitt version of Catwoman, also have their moments of being, you know, mysterious and having that, in Catwoman's case, that allure. But in the case of Yzma, and in the case of Eartha Kitt's ability to perform, we also see this rich ability to have that alluring, in-control character break. And we see the other side of the sudden, wait, what? Oh no! You know, this incredible energy that even when her characters are being portrayed as having things blow up in their face, you still get this great performative energy from Eartha Kitt in her voice acting and her live action acting as well. Unfortunately for the world, Eartha Kitt passed away in 2008. And so there is no way that she could ever voice any character again, let alone Velicia. However, I want the spirit, the effervescent quality of Eartha Kitt to reflect in Velicia, because there was something incredibly valuable about that. Eartha Kitt's career was very phenomenal, and her life was very tumultuous, and I believe the combination of those two factors led to her ability to give these captivating performances that she could, even through voice acting. When you couldn't see the way she moved her body, you could still feel what she was projecting through her voice. And that is something that I want to capture. For those of you who haven't seen SCHNEEEVIL, the little animatic I made, it's down in the link below. But for those of you who haven't watched it yet, I voice all the characters, including Velicia. And I do it out of convenience, obviously. It's only me making this, and so I only have access to myself. When I do Velicia's voice, I am trying my darned tootiness to impersonate Eartha Kitt, because I am trying to project that energy into Velicia. I want Velicia to behave the way that Eartha Kitt would have been able to project onto the characters that she portrayed. I am thinking that the day that SCHNEEEVIL becomes a big thing, and I have the ability to hire other voice actors and whatnot, I don't want to put too much pressure on whoever's going to voice Velicia, because I don't think I want to do it for very long, unless, of course, it's really popular for some reason, and I'll go ahead and do it. But anyway, I don't want whoever is going to voice Velicia to have to worry about the massive shoes to fill that Eartha Kitt left behind. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on someone. So it's not like I'm going to have to hunt down for like an Eartha Kitt impersonator, because I think that would be a disservice. Instead, I want to capture the spirit, ultimately, of Eartha Kitt in Velicia, because the way she was able to put not only her power, but her vulnerability into the roles that she played is phenomenal. And the key to Velicia is that she is very much a vulnerable character, but she is also very much a character that has a lot of spirit and energy. And that, I don't think I've seen anyone who could communicate it quite like Eartha Kitt could. And so because of that, even though I know that Eartha Kitt can never voice Velicia, and I don't want to have to put the pressure of having to imitate Eartha Kitt onto whoever may voice act Velicia, whether it stays me or it ends up being someone else, I want that vulnerable energy to be a key component in Velicia one way or another. And so with all that said, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there for today. So you people know what to do. If you like what you want to see more, go ahead and tickle the sacred button so you know what comes next on this here channel. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts. If you're a fan of Eartha Kitt, if you're a fan of Catwoman, if you're a fan of SCHNEEEVIL, I mean, let me know. I would love to know that. Or if you just want to have a chat for whatever reason, go ahead and do that. And of course, share this video. If you're watching it on minds.com, it's as easy as hitting that remind button. Otherwise, just go ahead and share the URL like a caveman. And definitely spread the word far and wide. And of course, a quick reminder that every episode I make is sponsored by me. If you go to my Patreon or Subscribe Star, you can see the full paint of this speed paint that I made and the full arduous detail that I do. And of course, you also get access to the monthly exclusive videos I make where I get to say naughty words. And, you know, it's very, it's that forbidden fruit, if you will. And of course, as per usual, if you wish to stalk me elsewhere on the inner tubes, go ahead and hit up my links on the screen. And pay special attention to minds.com because I always like to push that alternative media for market diversity. And yeah, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I do hope you all stick around. And until next time, deuces.